straight into the roof of the net. Nice one. Straight down the middle. So a good performance from both teams.
Hi, you're watching Firstpost. I'm Rupha Ramani. Let's dive right in. On the show today, has Punjab Super Kings lost their mojo, or has this super team become the latest victim of the Indian Premier League schedule? How difficult is it to navigate the tournament, and what needs to be done to sustain yourselves till the playoffs? In an era where football stars would rather stay quiet than speak their minds, Spain's new poster boy Lamine Yamal seems to be playing bold both on and off the pitch. Why is this refreshing, and is this what the sport desperately needs now? And FIFA's dynamic pricing seems to have affected fans and players alike. Families of some of the players are also struggling with the ticket pricing. Has FIFA completely missed the trick when it comes to the World Cup tickets? But first, the headlines. Starting with cricket and the Indian Premier League, Bengaluru's Tim David has been fined 30% of his match fee for an obscene gesture that he made right after Bengaluru beat Mumbai. BCCI found David guilty of breaching level 1 of IPL's code of conduct. He has also been handed 2 demerit points. Former India captain Rahul Dravid has been announced as the owner of ETPL side Dublin Guardians. The 6-team event, launched in partnership with Ireland, Scotland and the Netherlands, has already seen former cricketers and international stars donning ownership roles. The league will begin in August. On to football. English club Tottenham Hotspurs continue to fight the relegation battle. The 2025 Europa League winners failed to capitalise in the 1-all drawn fixture against Leeds. Tottenham gave away the lead in the 75th minute. With 2 matches left, Tottenham only have a 2-point advantage over 18th placed West Ham. Mexico's education authorities have reversed the decision to end the academic year early with the World Cup approaching. Initially, Mexico announced to shut school 40 days earlier than usual. It led to a huge backlash from parents and raised questions about disruptions linked to the World Cup. The schools will remain open until 15th of July. Mexico is set to host 13 matches between 11th of June and 5th of July. And summing it up with tennis, 5th seed Iga Świątek has eased into the Italian Open quarterfinals. The Polish star beat Naomi Osaka in straight sets. She will now face Jessica Pegula, who beat Anastasia Potapova in the round of 16. Punjab Super Kings have registered their 4th consecutive loss in the IPL, and suddenly the very momentum that was going to take them straight through to the playoffs seems to have abandoned them. Captain Shreyas Iyer and his team are staring at a tricky phase here. The qualification to the playoffs itself under a cloud of doubt, which brings me to the art of closing. Not just games that could go right down to the wire, that's also one that needs some amount of skill, but how to close up a playoff spot, for instance, and especially at the Indian Premier League, because from there on, it's anybody's trophy. Look, the Indian Premier League is ruthless. No wonder an IPL title is what every cricketer yearns to have, because getting to the summit itself, let alone crossing the final line, is not that easy. It only takes a great combination on it not only takes a great combination on the field, some solid captaincy and a calm mentorship off the field, but a lot of other little factors that can very easily impact your campaign. Momentum, for one, and a T20 game relies heavily on this. Let's look at Punjab for a moment. Now, they look like a solid side, and judging by the way they got off the blocks, you knew this would be a horse for the course. That playoffs was going to be a mere formality, but suddenly they seem to have lost steam. So what's the reason? There was one offbeat opinion that put it down to a strange coincidence. let me stop you right there. Social media faux pas don't win you games, and nor do they result in any losing streaks. It's not down to some bout of misfortune either, no purple patch disappearing, although certain players can go through a bit of a phase during the tournament because a lot of your performance also depends on recovery. But let's talk business here and what has stopped Punjab in its tracks. They have fallen short because of their own doing, and their skipper, Shreyas Iyer, did not mince his words in admitting as much.
I don't have to beat around the bush. I will just say our fielding and bowling again. It was 30 runs more on this wicket considering how the ball was seaming and there was variable bounce.
That's some hard talking, but his team should appreciate it. Sometimes it's not so much what you say, but the words you use and the tone that you're saying it in that truly makes you go back to the drawing board and figure it out all over again. Shreyas Iyer called his team out, him included, when he questioned their own planning.
I always say that hard length, short of hard length is the best, especially when a new batsman is coming. And it's not easy to hit. We fell short of planning.
And that says it all. He believes his team is capable of delivering on the biggest stage. But they just haven't done it the way they should have. And that's what the IPL can do. It can completely wrestle away any advantage you thought you had. The tournament is long, hectic, and busy enough that any franchise, no matter how strong they look on paper, how clinical they have been, can lose it all. That's how unpredictable this league has always proven to be. A team going all the way through without losing a game is rare. Take the World Cup, for example. It is a far shorter and not a very conclusive affair, one that only relies on just that one group largely. So you really need to keep it clean and simple right through. And then you look at a tournament like the Indian Premier League, one that is far more rigorous and chaotic, where even one slip-up can ultimately bite you when it really counts or when it really matters. Here, winning has to be planned and rather meticulously. It sounds rather odd, yes, but that's how it is. Teams have to work in ebbs and flows because it is that long of a tournament. The fact that Punjab actually nailed the first phase makes me think they should have the answers to their current slump. That they just need to tinker their process a little bit to see what could work in this stage of the tournament, the last phase. Chennai has managed to do that after a horrid start, and so has Kolkata. Punjab have the best brains in the dugout to help them get over this. And what goes in their favour is that their next game is against a team that has simply failed to find their own mojo, Mumbai Indians. So maybe that would be a timely fixture for Punjab to find their own rhythm here, one that results in some stunning wins, one that obviously resulted in some stunning wins in the tournament so far, before it is too late. Barcelona and Spain are entering a brand new era, and right at the center of it stands one teenager, Lamine Yamal. At just 18 years old, he's already becoming Spain's biggest footballing ambassador. Not just because of what he does on the pitch, but because he's completely unapologetic of it. And that is exactly why the internet cannot stop talking about him. The teenager has the football world divided after Barcelona's La Liga title celebrations. First, he mocked Barcelona's fiercest rivals, Real Madrid, and then he grabbed headlines again after waving the Palestine flag during the parade. It became a statement. Now, there are two ways to look at this. One, a teenager getting carried away with the emotions of what was clearly a historic night. Or two, a future global superstar already showing the world that he refuses to be media trained and robotic. And in the current scenario, that is far more appealing and rare. For years, Barcelona built its identity around producing icons, not just club legends, but players who defined an entire generation of Spanish football. Xavi Hernandez, Andre Iniesta, Sergio Busquets, Carlos Puyol, Gerard Piqué, they became symbols of Barcelona's culture, its ideology, and its attitude. And after years of chaos following Lionel Messi's exit, Barcelona finally feels like it has found its next global face. Lamine Yamal. The scary part, he's only getting started. The teenager has already won the Euros with Spain. He's already won La Liga now with Barcelona thrice. Already become one of the most feared wingers in world football. But what truly separates Yamal from most wonderkids is that he doesn't behave like a carefully scripted corporate athlete. And during Barcelona's title parade, the world saw exactly that. Yamal openly trolled Real Madrid during the celebrations. Barcelona players mocking Madrid, Madrid players mocking Barcelona. Look, that's just part of the heritage. That rivalry is what keeps Spanish football alive, and Yamal understands that perfectly. He wears that Barcelona badge emotionally, proudly, and almost personally. And that's why many fans are starting to see shades of Lionel Messi in him. Because Barcelona finally has someone who makes the club feel alive again.
We promise that this season we will do all we can to bring Champions League back to the Camp Nou.
The fans are always with us on important days and less important days. We will celebrate the Champions League title with them.
Messi was the symbol of Barcelona's golden era, and now Yamal is slowly becoming the symbol of its rebirth. But there is one major difference between the two. Messi mostly stayed away from public political messaging and controversies. Yamal clearly does not seem interested in doing that. Social media instantly exploded after those scenes played out. Some praised him for using that platform and his voice fearlessly. Others criticized him for mixing politics with football. Regardless of what side people stood on, one thing became very clear. Yamal is not afraid of the reactions. And in today's football culture, that stands out. Because modern athletes are trained to avoid controversies at all costs. PR teams, media advisors, sponsors, everyone tells stars the same thing. Stay neutral, say nothing, offend nobody, and protect your brand. And honestly, most athletes follow that formula rather well. Even the biggest names in the world rarely speak openly on sensitive global matters. Take Lionel Messi himself, for example. After Argentina's Copa America celebrations sparked outrage because of racist chants linked to his squad, Messi chose to stay silent. Now, yes, he was not directly involved in the chants himself, but it is still expected from the captain of the team to address this situation, one that his team was in some way. Silence is usually the safer option for global superstars because the moment you speak, half the world loves you and the other half attacks you. Which is why Yamal's actions are drawing so much attention, because here is an 18-year-old, a teenager, who seemingly does not care about following the traditional playbook. And whether people agree with him or not, it creates something football desperately misses. Sometimes, authenticity. Now, whether that makes him inspirational, reckless, or controversial depends entirely on who you ask. But one thing is undeniable. Barcelona has found more than just its next footballing superstar. It may have found its next cultural icon as well. The 2026 FIFA World Cup is proving to be an exclusive VIP concert. The ticket prices continue to be a problem. But here's the thing, it isn't just the fans. Even players' families can't afford these tickets. FIFA's ticketing have become so absurd that even football associations are struggling to buy seats for friends and families of their own players. So if you thought this was just about fans getting priced out, think again. Because apparently at this World Cup, everyone gets treated equally. Fans, players, federations, basically everyone gets robbed together. Our next report.
When America, Canada and Mexico got the hosting rights for the 2026 World Cup, it was believed that the football world will get to see something unique. The moment was deemed as FIFA's shot at cracking the American market and embracing their culture. Well, FIFA did adapt to the American way of things and came up with their little invention called dynamic pricing. Or as most people would call it, a manual on how to turn football passion into a stock market. Watching your country at a World Cup is supposed to be priceless. Ironically, FIFA took that very literally. The consistent price surge and dips are proving to be a headache for almost everyone associated with the tournament. Fans first raised frustration over FIFA pricing them out, and now numerous football associations have been hit by shockingly high ticket costs for their players' family members and friends. And this isn't some random public sale chaos. We are talking about people directly connected to the players themselves. Mothers, fathers, siblings, close friends, the very people who sacrificed everything to help these footballers reach the World Cup. Now, to be fair, FIFA did give national associations a 6-week window after the World Cup draw to buy tickets at fixed prices. Very generous. Almost like a supermarket discount weekend. But after January, welcome to adaptive pricing. And that is where the real problem begins. Because under this model, the more demand rises, the more prices shoot up. Which basically means your love for football now has a surge pricing. Reports claim the average cost of a single ticket has reached around $3,000. So at this point, you're not buying a seat, you're basically applying for a small mortgage. And remember, this isn't just a corporate box issue, this is affecting regular access too. Imagine spending your entire life dreaming of representing your country, only to realize your own family might struggle to watch you live because of the price tag. And look, FIFA knows demand for the World Cup is insane. They know people will pay anything for it. This is exactly why dynamic pricing exists. Airlines do it, hotels do it, concerts do it. But football is not supposed to feel like buying last-minute Taylor Swift tickets. That is the only difference FIFA is failing to realize. There is one thing FIFA deserves credit for here though, consistency. Because whether you are a die-hard fan, a national association or the family of a World Cup star, everyone apparently gets the same experience. Pay more, then pay even more. So going by this rate, maybe the time the final kicks off, the cost of the trophy might actually be the cheapest thing inside the stadium.
Time for last serve. Want a FIFA World Cup trophy? Well, a Brazilian artist might just have one ready for you. Inside a workshop in Rio, one man has created more than 3,000 replicas of football's most iconic trophy. But while the copies are for everyone, he has only one wish for the real one, that it returns to Brazil. Take a look at the artist turning World Cup fever into an art form.
gente foi o primeiro país a ser tricampeão, o primeiro país a ser tetracampeão, o primeiro país a ser pentacampeão e agora a gente vai ser hexa, tá pronta! A Taça do Brasil tá pronta, é hexa!
How's that for some World Cup buzz? But do stay tuned to us here on Firstpost as we continue to build up that FIFA World Cup. It's less than a month away. But I'll take your leave now. I'll see you again later. Bye-bye.